Alright, hello everybody, and we're back with part 2 of my video, and real quick here before I forget, because I almost forgot again, gonna get my timer going here. I tried to want this to actually be an hour long, and the last one was only about 35 minutes, so I do apologize for the short video there, but it's alright, whatever. So, I'm trying to decide, I wouldn't really mind having another unit over here, just sort of to patrol this region, because he's gonna, I'm sure, put out at least one more settler either over here or up here, so it'd be nice to sort of, if nothing else, keep him locked out of this region back here. So we're just gonna keep poking around and see if we can actually catch him doing something. It's not that I so much want more settlers from him, it's that I want I just want to sort of keep him weak, which, you know, I can't imagine him being especially strong on this difficulty level. Alright, wow, he actually managed to finish the mine. Good for him. Alright, so let's just go ahead and heal him again. And I think that scout, wow, the scout can take it. Awesome, scout's awesome. Alright, now this is a nice way to earn a little bit of money here. Just go ahead and pillage the tile, and now he's going to have to send another worker out here to fix that. And I don't think we need this worker, do we? Yeah, we don't need this worker. Go ahead and delete him. So mine's done. That mine is done. We'll go ahead and chop that, even though it's outside our borders. And where are we growing to next? We're going there next in 3 turns. So we're going to pause that guy actually maybe for... It takes 3 turns to chop the forest, and you get more benefit from chopping it if it's actually within your cultural borders than outside your cultural borders. So let's take him over here. We'll heal him. So yeah, see, if we chop, 3 turns to chop, 2 turns to border growth. So that'll actually work out just fine. It'll work out just fine. Put him to sleep there. You get more, a lot more hammers for chopping the forest if it's within your cultural borders when you do it. So, and I have no idea if he has another worker or not. So I think we're just going to keep him hanging out right there. Okay, so currency's done. We're 8 turns from the Hanging Gardens, which is good. Bronze or masonry's down to 2, so it's sort of tempting to go ahead and grab it right now, which I think is a good idea. I think we'll go ahead and we'll grab masonry right now, and then this guy we can bring over here and have him improve that. And there goes Stonehenge. Okay, so we're just going to keep looking around in there. Yeah. And you just wait 1 turn. Yep, 20 hammers for Venice. Done. Worker, and good. Just go ahead and make a forest. Yeah, there we go. It's good. It's good. We're good. Okay, so masonry's done. We don't have a trapping resource. Let's go ahead and get drama and poetry next, and then straight up to civil service. And yeah, okay, I guess I should also mention, if you play on really high difficulty level, the usual Venice strategy is to scout along the coast, and if you find a city-state like this one that is nearby, within trade route distance, is to just beeline right for optics and send your merchant down here and pop them, and then send a trade caravan back to your capital with food in it. The problem is that you can't send a food caravan back unless there's a granary here, and he doesn't have wheat or deer or jungle, so there's no motivation on Antwerp's part to build a granary. And on Prince difficulty, they're just really slow about getting everything done. See, like, he's only got 1 workboat out. And I'm assuming, yeah, see, this is still showing up as Grassland Hill, so I don't even think he's got a worker out here improving the any of this stuff. I mean, so who knows what he's actually got. So we don't want this guy until he either builds his own granary or we can afford to rush buy one. Otherwise, he's just a burden on our happiness and everything. Another point that should be mentioned is Antwerp itself, right, has jewelry and gems. But the moment we puppet him, the jewelry vanishes. We don't get the jewelry, all we get are the gems. So sort of the worst ones that you can puppet are the mercantile city-states. I mean, you really want to puppet, in my opinion, the faith ones, because they sort of have the least to offer in terms of anything really useful. So, you know, puppeting these guys is going to hammer our happiness because of the 5 citizens, and we're only going to get the one thing out of it. So the moment we puppet him, we may end up actually tanking our happiness until we can actually get one of these pearls going. So we don't really want to puppet him until we have our luxuries going and he's got the mine, those improved. Likewise, same thing goes for him down here. He's got 2 luxuries, so puppeting his capital is good once he gets the salt. But until he gets the salt, it's not so happy. I honestly wouldn't mind even, well, see, and this is the other thing to look for, is to make sure that whoever you puppet has unique luxuries. We wouldn't want to puppet him if he had nothing but gems. But since he's got copper, and he's going to grow out to the salt here pretty soon, so he'll have actually 2 luxuries. It'll be nice to puppet. So anyway. I was trying to micromanage my city here. So we're 3 away. That's 3 away, 10 to grow. So there's no reason to grow slow if you can complete something in the same number of turns. Just no reason whatsoever. We're just going to keep popping our head up there. And looks like he's brought a little archer guy out here. I don't know if he can actually hit us. Doesn't look like it, yeah. Not sure why we were able to see him. We're not actually... Oh, we are on a hill there. Okay. I'm trying to figure out why we could actually see... Which means we're actually visible to the city from that spot right there. Because if we could see his unit, then presumably his cultural borders can see us. It's not always really clear what's actually really visible and what's not. But there's the Hanging Gardens, which is good. So we're going to just hang him there just on the off chance that we are visible. So Venice now is going to be growing a lot faster than it was before, which is good. It's going to be the same turns to growth. That's good. Okay. All right. So Hanging Gardens is done. Now we can go ahead and build the Oracle, which is going to go on turn 98, which if we were playing on Immortal Deity, we'd miss it for sure. And we may still miss it. Hopefully not, but we'll find out. We will find out indeed if we won't miss it. And I'm just going to keep him just sitting right there. Yeah, see, he reached out and grabbed that. He'll send a worker up there for sure. It's really tempting, actually, now that I think about it, to... See, if he sends a worker up there, let's wait 1 turn, okay? And then we'll send a warrior over there. Okay, so this is this guy here. Alrighty, and our next... Okay, we'll grab this fish for the next border growth, and then we need to get up to optics here pretty soon so we can get our lighthouse out. Yeah, he brought his stupid warrior out. Unfortunate. Okay, so, leave him there, and we're going to leave him on alert. If he's got his worker out here, and we bring our warrior here, he won't be able to get his worker home. Okay, so he just recalled his warrior. Okay, so let's... Okay, you just go to sleep there, and then let's go here. No worker. Oh, but he did get his plantation improved. Does he just not have another worker? I mean, is that what's going on here? It's I guess it's possible he just didn't buy another worker. I kind of hate to leave this region over here without a unit in it. But if I bring this guy over to here, I'm a little just a little, at a little loss. I'm not quite sure exactly where. I need another unit down here is what I need. It would be really nice to have another unit up there. We should not be visible to him. There. But, you know, I suppose it's possible that we are. And he doesn't have a worker there. And I find it, like, inconceivable that he's, gonna try to do this, with just 2 cities, that he hasn't sent another, settler out. But I suppose it's possible he's got a settler wandering down this way somewhere. Well, we'll see. Yeah, the Great Lighthouse is something that would have been really nice to get. It's not super important, but what the Great Lighthouse does give you is merchant points. And merchant points are very valuable for Venice. For most civs, getting the Great Library is not, in my opinion, an especially high priority thing to do, because the merchant points, in most games in general, you just never want to make great merchants. There was a unit right there. I totally missed what it was. I'm gonna guess that was actually his worker that was there. Okay, looks like we got the Oracle. And boom, right there. Alright, so we are 3 turns from our next policy. So I guess this is a good time to actually discuss social policies and how you actually win the game. I know I did actually say sort of earlier in the game that you just get a lot of stuff, Merchants of Venice, and win the game. I don't know the exact number of delegates you need, but pre-patch, the way it worked was that if you were allied with every city-state in the game, and you hosted the World Congress, you won the diplomatic victory. It was just that simple. So post-patch, what they've done is they've increased the number of delegates you need by 7. So you need to host it. You need to have allies with all city-states, and then you still need 7 more votes after that. Or maybe it's 5 more votes. I'm not sure exactly how the exact number. But so the question then is where do you get the extra votes from? Well, banking gives you the Forbidden Palace, which gives you 2 additional delegates to the World Congress. The benefit of the negative unhappiness is a pretty good one, and in games in general, this is a wonder that you want to build for no other reason than just so that the AI doesn't get it. And having those 2 extra votes, I've found is pretty invaluable a lot of times just for manipulating the World Congress. It'll give me just enough votes to just be able to vote something up or down, not necessarily win. Globalization will give you 1 delegate for every spy as a diplomat. So all you have to do to win the game is you don't even need the Forbidden Palace. If you just build the Wonder, what is it? Where did it go? The National Intelligence Agency, because this gives you the extra spy. If you just build that and get to globalization and put all your spies in enemy capitals and be allied with every city-state, you win the game. So that's all you have to do. So all you have to do is just get to globalization. But the world vote starts here in the information era. So if you can get banking, right, and get the Forbidden Palace, if you get to push through your ideology, you get 2 votes for following the world ideology. If you push through religion, you get 2 votes for following the world religion. So that right there is 6 votes, and that should be all that you need to win the game. And then there's a timing that is kind of tricky to hit, and honestly I'm not an expert at hitting it because I don't play DV that much, where you want to be able to bulb your way up into the information era through globalization right before a World Congress vote, so that because the first world leader vote is 10 turns after. So if you do something really unfortunate like hit globalization the turn after, when there's 25 turns till the next World Congress, you have to literally wait 35 turns. which can be a total drag as Venice because you're at that point it's impossible for you to lose the game. Getting the ideology through is not such a hard thing to do on any difficulty. A lot of times you can get order done with no difficulty. Freedom on higher difficulty might get you into war, but you can pretty much usually get order and make it the ideology and be fine. The world religion is a little more dicier because everybody gets religion. And I'm not sure I'm going to do religion here because I haven't made any further effort beyond this one faith per turn. But if this is any worse than what king difficulty is, religions are going to go really, really late. One religion's been founded on turn 93. If this is deity, they'd be all founded. All right. So Oracle's done. This is maybe a good time to get a cargo ship out. Maybe a good time to get a market up. I mean, we really want both, and we definitely want to get these workboats out. So I say we go ahead and get the market up, and then we'll probably build the Riders Guild, and then we'll start alternating back and forth between workboats and whatchamacallits, workboats and caravans. And I think we might go ahead and make peace with him. Let's actually look and see what the trade routes are looking like now. Trade routes that are available, we can't actually see what it would be if we made peace with them. Well, if we're going to make peace with them, we need to get our scout home. We need to do that first. So let's just wait a couple of turns. And then I think maybe we'll make peace with him, and then send a trade route. Hey, guy. And that kind of clinches it right there, that you take a huge diplomatic penalty for taking somebody's capital. Okay, now this is the other one. Even with the nerf, consulates is still worthwhile. I don't think Pledge to Protect is worthwhile any longer. I think there's too many diplomatic issues with Pledge to Protect. But consulates is still totally worth it. We're not going to take consulates first. We're actually going to head down here to scholasticism first. And the reason is we're just going to basically be throwing 1,000 gold at city-states. Every time we get 1,000 gold, we're just going to send it at a city-state. So, yeah, this raises our influence by 20 points, but we're going to get more bonus out of the reduced cost, and we want the science from the allies. So our path through patronage is going to be scholasticism and then consulates, which is opposite. If you were playing any other civ, you would definitely do consulates and then scholasticism. We want to get down here into secularism really early. We want to get here to entrepreneurship and mercantilism. We want both of these in a really huge way. So if we're going to go 4 deep into commerce, we might as well go 5 deep so we can faith buy great merchants, which if we do that, that means we do need religion, either our own or somebody else's. And we need to be definitely making more than 1 faith per turn. So we will make an effort to ally up the culturals, or the city-states, the faith city-states. I'm usually happy if I can faith buy 2 great merchants. Faith buying 4 is even better. The more great merchants you can faith buy, the more great scientists you can afford to have. So they sort of work together synergistically in that respect, that getting a bunch of faith per turn going is really good because it lets you buy more great merchants, which means that you don't have to stand in the way of getting more great scientists. And then, taking something like humanism combined with entrepreneurship, the two of them aren't necessarily at odds with each other. Because if you can faith buy a lot of great merchants, then, this is all the farther I would normally go. On high difficulty, I'd come all the way down here to Scientific Revolution. We are going to fill out rationalism all completely because we want the finisher to be able to bulb a tech late in the game and get us closer, because we're not going to be able to depend on research agreements. My guess is that late game research agreements are probably going to give us like 1 turn of tech and are just probably not even going to be worth it. And then our ideology, I haven't decided yet. We'll either take freedom or we'll take order. We'll sort of cross that bridge when we get to it. So anyways, that discussion was just all about taking patrons, which is the ideology we want. Alright, let's sneak this guy around. It looks like he didn't bring a worker out here. Silly rabbit. Alright, so there's civil service. I think we want to go right up into education next. Well, okay, do we want to maybe go to optics and go ahead and grab Antwerp? We're getting ready to be able to improve these guys here. So I think this is because it's only 3 turns now to optics. So I think this is actually a good time to take optics. The problem with optics and sailing, I know I took sailing really early, but the problem with optics is it takes so freaking long to research early that I really make a serious effort to sort of avoid researching it until I really sort of have to. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to go ahead and make peace with Shaka. Alright, so let's just go ahead and make peace. And you know what? It's turn 98, and all he's managed to do is produce a stupid archer and a stupid warrior. I don't think he's going to be any threat whatsoever. So I think we can just safely sort of ignore him. I think we'll be fine. So since we're getting ready to pop a great merchant, we want to get the workboat out and get the optics going here, or get these pearls going. And I think we'll have enough happiness to take that. And hopefully, seriously hopefully, we'll be able to, alright, so we're going to improve the luxury. Get the warrior healed up, and we got to go out and scout with these guys. And let's get the lighthouse up. Yeah, we're definitely starting to meet people. I probably should have moved this warrior a step further. Alright, you heal, you go there. Next turn. Yeah, let's go. We'll just trade embassies with everybody. Selling embassies early in the game is a really nice way of earning some gold early in the game. I tend not to do it because I don't like to. I've just found that it turns your capital into a magnet for the AI, and it just sends other people kind of right at you. Okay, so lighthouse in 3. These pearls until we actually lose. Okay, we got a workboat on that one. So lighthouse in 3. Lighthouse in 3. Yeah, and that looks, well, these tiles. Not making any difference there at all, is it? 6 and 3, 6 and 3, we'll have to take the extra gold. Alright, so I just lost track of what I was saying. Yeah, once we get this lighthouse up and get workboats everywhere there. Okay, so the AI's got some decent stuff going there. So let's buy the city-state. And yeah, we survived it just fine. And it says we need horses, which we don't because there's horses right there. Hopefully that won't be a persistent bug like it was in past games. Now it'd be really cool if he's actually got a trireme, which apparently he doesn't. So we'll just put the worker to sleep because he's not of any value. And let's get out here and scout with these guys. I'm going to keep him home. Because he can be a pikeman actually right now. I'm going to go ahead and scout with the warrior, yeah, and we're just going to send those guys out. Okay, and I have to be like straight up honest, I guess right away from the very beginning. I absolutely despise scouting the water. I just hate it with an absolute passion. I don't mind it so much with a caravel, but with these little units like this, I just can't stand it. It just drives me out of my mind. So I am probably going to violate one of the cardinal rules here pretty quickly in terms of gameplay, which is never auto-explore. And I'll probably put these guys on auto-explore pretty quickly. My patience for it will run out so fast, it's stupid. I just can't stand to do it. Just can't stand to do it. So, but that's fine. So, did we start working ahead? Okay, this is going to be a food caravan. Actually, make sure. Oh, we have no freaking granary. Okay, so granary is 340 gold. Yeah, I mean, what's he been doing for 100 freaking turns? I mean, seriously. Sometimes I question Prince difficulty level. So let's just put him down here and just put some eyes down that direction. And pop our way up here. And hopefully there's still some runes laying around out there. Looks like the AI did finally manage to muddle its way up to compass. And is out scouting. And we'll just put you on alert. Right there. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get around Shaka there, does it? Oh, and he did settle that other city down there. I knew he was going to put a city down here. I just knew it. It's totally fine. Totally fine. I don't know if we can get around down there or not. Back into the drink, and then just keep poking around. So he can't go anywhere in that direction. And alright, so yeah, see, we're giving him more science than we're getting. So yeah, we'll send this guy to Antwerp. We can't get past that one either. Oh, well. No big deal. No big deal. It's tempting. Should be gone already. I have absolutely no idea what turn this goes on. I mean, absolutely no clue. I don't normally build it. I think we'll go ahead and do it. Okay. We'll go ahead and do it. We'll be fine. Get the extra faith going, get a religion, because I don't know that Shaka is going to get a religion. Alright, so we'll send... Oh, God. Oh, that's irritating. Okay, so we're just going to put this guy to sleep, because it's, what did I say it was? 340 to buy the granary. Granary is 340, so that's, looks like about 3 or 4 turns away. So yeah, we'll just let that guy sit around and be useless for 4 turns. That's irritating. Like, what in the world? Has Antwerp been doing for all those turns? We'll see if we can actually poke our head. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get very far. Barrier reef's good. There's our first great scientist. There's the other great barrier reef. Alright, so we want to plant this guy somewhere. I guess we'll just go ahead and plant him right here. Yeah, you want to plant these guys on 2 food tiles, but we don't have any 2 food tiles, which is the other problem with these coastal starts like this, is that there's nowhere to plant your great people, because you just don't have any land. Let's go to a weird little stutter that my game made there. I wonder what that was about. Looks like that's the ice up there, and we got 338, so one more. Get out there and meet the AI. Meet them all. Meeting all the AI is really important. Alright, so yeah, food back there. Okay. There's an example here that we can use. Yeah, see, compass. Okay. Notice that these are all 10 turns to tech, but compass is 8. And this is because the AIs that we've met so far have all researched compass, and so we get a discount on the amount of time it takes us to research compass. So it's really important on all games to scout, and this is one of the main reasons why it's so important to scout, because it gives you this big discount in the tech tree. And it doesn't look like these guys have gone up this way, which is kind of weird. You sort of would have expected Shaka to be up here, but and apparently nobody's hit, well, obviously nobody's hit astronomy because nobody's in the Renaissance yet. So yeah, we're the metric on high difficulty that you want to accomplish is you want to have education by turn 105 and be in a position to rush by universities in 4 cities. And it's a little easier to do with 4 cities or 3 cities because you'll have libraries going in all of them, and even with the penalty, the 5% penalty for tech. See, this one does have a library at least. It's a little easier to get there than with just 1 city. With just 1 city, it's all about population and really about nothing else but population. Population is the single most important thing when you play a 1 city challenge. I mean, not that this is a 1 city challenge, but it bears enough resemblance to it that it should be played like a 1 city challenge. Okay, so we are, looks like we're working all the best food tiles, or sea tiles now. And that's what we want to do, is we want to get ourselves so we're working all the best food tiles, which I should have been back in there a lot earlier to check that. This is once again me talking and not playing. But I'm just not good at it. Which it's not the end of the world, but it is what it is. All right, so we're 1 turn from rationalism, or 1 turn from our next policy. So obviously we can't. If we had, so well, I guess what I'm saying is we're going to put another whatchamacallit into another policy into patronage before we make it into rationalism. So if we're going to do that, we might as well go ahead and work our way down here. And normally at this point, I would be headed for printing press. I think printing press is the best way to enter into the Renaissance era. It's usually after education. It's sort of a very natural way to go, and it lets you build the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and is nicely on the way into scientific theory. I'm worried that if we that if we meet all the civs and research printing press, we end up with the World Congress right off the top. And I'm a little worried that we're going to end up with the World Congress actually too early, and this is a Prince difficulty level thing, that that we'll start this whole World Congress thing too soon, and because it's 25 turns between every vote, so it would be sort of nice to be as far through the Renaissance era as we could get before we research printing press, or just let the AI sort of research printing press on its own. So I think what we're going to do here is head for banking so we can build the Forbidden Palace. And I think that's going to be sort of the better way to go there. And I think that we also, rather than just taking this direct path here, that we should shoot through engineering here so that we can get the additional trade route. Though it is really, honestly, very tempting to come down here and grab the Colossus. I don't think the Colossus is gone yet, and the Colossus would be really nice to have. So I'm sort of, because this is only 3 turns off of our path to banking, and it would give us a nice little wonder to build. So it gives us the extra trade route, and it's got a great merchant point. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Why not? Why not? There goes the Petra on turn 120. It's another one of those wonders that typically goes by around turn 50-ish on higher difficulty level. I guess this guy doesn't have anywhere to go, so we'll just park him up there. Yeah, the moment I lose patience with this, we'll shoot for astronomy so I can put caravels out. Wow, looks like we've actually got the hydra stuff here. Awesome, 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 awesome. Alright. Pretty cool. Trespass on Yerevan there. I guess we'll found a religion. Alright, so in my experience on lower difficulty level, the thing to do with religion here, so it looks like one's already been founded. Yeah, so 1 religion's already been founded. Okay. And I don't have a lot of patience for this, so I don't think we're going to do it. But is to take pilgrimage, and then take the one that gives you that you earn missionaries faster, which I don't know if that's been taken yet or not. Tundra, or if it's an enhancer, I believe. So yeah, never get this guy. It's almost always a total waste. Plus 2 gold for each city. Specialist, religion spreads 30% farther away. Yeah, we wanted itinerant preachers. Kind of sucks that we didn't get that. So who actually got Hinduism? We haven't met him yet. Faster growth rate, religion spreads to allies. Just 30% farther away. All right. So yeah, what I was trying to say was that you take pilgrimage. You take either itinerant preachers or religious texts, and then you take the one that gives you cheaper missionaries, and then you just spam your missionaries all over. Is that over here actually? I'm sorry, I don't do a lot of religion because it's just not very available on higher difficulty level. So I don't have a lot of practice. I don't just know off the top of my head where all these things are. So, but yeah, you just spam your things all over the place. You convert everybody to your religion, and then you get huge faith per turn because you're getting 2 faith for each foreign city. And the higher the difficulty level you play on, the more faith you get because, on deity or immortal, they're going to produce probably twice the number of cities that they are on this difficulty level. But you have to fight for it, and that's the thing, because some of the AIs get really focused on religion, and since we've already got something that's enhanced, we probably have one of them. So, and I just get really bored with sending out missionaries. It's just, after a while, I'm just like kind of fed up with it. So, so yeah, Swords of the Plowshares is what we're probably going to take here, because I'm not seeing the other one. This Holy Warriors thingy, I see a lot of people on lower difficulty levels take this. They take this totally out of paranoia that the AI is going to come send an army into their borders. I mean, just don't even worry about the AI sending an army. I mean, just don't. You don't have to worry about it. low difficulty, and on higher difficulty you just have to pay it some sort of minimal attention. It would have been really nice if I could have actually saved the money to buy that university, but I didn't, so whatever. Just keep poking around here. Yes, let's be friends. So yeah, we're gonna buy caravans, or not caravans, but boats, trade boats, and we'll buy those. We'll build them until it sort of reaches the point where I want engineering, okay, where we can afford to start buying them. Venice has too many caravan slots. And until your city gets nice and big and actually gets some decent production going, they just take too long to build. And so you're better off actually just buying them, even though it takes a little while to recoup the money from it. But you're better off just buying them than you are building them, because there's other things that your hammers are better spent on. And the one thing that you end up with in surplus is gold. You end up with a lot of gold. And sort of depending on how things work out, we'll have anywhere from, 400 to 600 gold per turn. I think I've even managed to get 700 gold per turn or higher. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this research agreement. I'm really not convinced that we're going to get anything out of that research agreement. But if we're ever going to get a research agreement that's worthwhile, it's going to be these early ones. When we're both sort of in the same era and, sort of teching at something even approaching the same tech rate. So yeah, we want Colossus. And then I think we might go ahead and build the Grand Temple after that. So yeah, we're working both of these guys. Okay. Yeah, and so here we are. We're building wonders when what we need to be doing is building workboats and stuff like that. Well, we can't go any further that way. So I guess we'll work this guy around. Yeah, see, my patience is almost done with it. My patience is very close to being done with this. Well, baseball's good. See, and that just tells me that I need to keep searching on manually. Is what that tells me. It'll pop up there. There's our guilds. And I guess we'll just stay on the water on it. Colossus! Yay! Colossus is good. Colossus is good. New trade route, and I probably should send this as a food route back to the puppet. It's like the only way to get the puppets to work. Because if we look at this guy, see, well, I guess he is working the market. Not growing very fast, but he is growing some. But right now I'm feeling like I want a little more gold per turn. So let's actually send this first guy and see. Look, we're not even getting. See, we're not getting anything out of this trade route into the AI in terms of science. It's like we're the deity AI is what this is like. So, but yeah, I want the gold per turn, and then we'll focus on the other. And I really want it. There's a lot of things here that we really need. The national epic we want sooner rather than later. The Artist Guild and the Writers Guild, we both really want those. We want those a whole lot. This would be nice to have and sort of get started on spreading our religion to the other AIs, especially where the cities are small and missionaries can actually do the conversion. And if we get him converted, yeah, let's do it, because if we can get him converted, then he'll start making missionaries too. And never, ever, ever, ever in any game, under any circumstance, for any reason whatsoever, I don't care how poor you are, never, ever, ever share open borders with the AI. Just never let them have open borders with you. All you're doing is helping them win the game. You get absolutely nothing out of it except for some trivial amount of gold per turn or something like that. That is what they've decided your open borders are worth. But I mean, even if they're offering 20 gold per turn, just don't ever, ever, ever share it. Yeah. The embassy's fine. Open borders, no. Just don't do it. And I have this sudden fear that I forgot to staff my specialists in my university, which I think I did. Because I'm playing rather than, or I'm talking rather than playing. I certainly did. All right, so does this? Oops, no, we don't want to sell it. So we lose 1 turn. 4 turns to growth. 4 turns to growth. So we lose 2 gold per turn, and that's totally fine. Yes, let's be friends. Yes, he's going to sit there and try to buy our open borders. It was something that we did in G and K a lot, would be to sell open borders really early in the game. And it was totally worthwhile. You would do it very early, but you would definitely stop doing it at a certain point in the game. And it's critically important that you do that. With the way tourism works in the game, having open borders is something that it improves their culture influence over you. So if anything, it's the opposite. You want to be buying open borders from the AI and never letting them have it, and it gives you a tiny little tourism bonus. Actually, can be very substantial tourism bonus going into their city. And if you are letting them have open borders, then they get that from you. And not only that, but they'll come and like if imagine there's a rune, ancient rune underneath my great scientist there. So say I had planted my great scientist right here, and that when I get archaeology, there's a rune underneath that thing. If they've got open borders, they will literally send a unit over here and dig up that rune and kill my great scientist improvement. So yeah, just don't do it. Okay, so there's my rant on open borders. It's one of those things I see newer players do a lot. They share their open borders, and then they have just nightmare problems because of it. And it's just one of those many, many, many things that I got built in a faraway land. No surprise there. It's just one of those many, many things that is just going to do nothing but hurt you in the long run. So let's go ahead and get the guilds up. So let's get the guilds up, and let's buy a workboat. Buy 2 of them at the same time. Alright, workboat. And so we're going to improve one of these. 2 turns, 2 turns. Alright. And so hopefully one of these people actually has money now that we're friends with some people. Yeah, they are both just flat out broke, so whatever. So we'll just sell it for gold per turn. And wait for them to come up with some cash. And we're going to buy I think we'll actually save a little money. I think 3 turns, and I think we'll, we need to get a caravan, a food caravan, into Antwerp. But I don't really want to spend, I don't want to buy that caravan. I'd rather build that caravan, but we may be buying it anyways. We got our happiness back. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our artist guild up. So grow artist guild in 5. It's fine. Yeah, and see that took us from 15 to 21. I mean, that was, you know, a huge increase in our culture output there, which was very beneficial. And I guess we got a scout down here that's headed that way, so we can send, and we've already got a guy over here that's going this way, so this guy here I'm going to put on auto, and then these guys I'm going to keep scouting manually. And those auto guys, they can be surprising actually, and not very often, but they do occasionally surprise me with sort of how well they actually manage to go and find things. Yeah, they're not super good at it, but you know, they do manage to get in there and do it. So this guy's unemployed again. And we'll take this research agreement as well. And those might be the only 2 research agreements we'll sign. We'll see what kind of benefit we get from those research agreements and use that as the deciding factor as to whether we're going to make any more. So I actually do want to see, when is that other one coming due? So this one ends on 157, so this ends in 12 turns, and I'll try to make sure I'm paying close attention when it does end. That's our food ship. Alright, so this is going to time out kind of nicely here. That we're going to get this guild will be done just in time for the Forbidden Palace to be ready to be built. Now, the AI beelines banking. So I'm presuming even on Prince difficulty, this is a wonder that we can miss. First one, yay! So yeah, the Artist Guild's done. So let's go ahead and squeeze out this cargo ship here. Alright, so there we are. Welcome to the Renaissance era. How long does it take to build the Forbidden Palace? Forbidden Palace, 15 times. Yeah, and we don't have printing press, so we can't just bulb it off of, we can't build Pisa and then bulb the Forbidden Palace. It's a really long time to build. And we want to get East India up sooner rather than later, and we want to get the National Epic up sooner rather than later. So let's go ahead and finish this cargo ship. Go ahead and do that. So it's actually 19 turns. Cargo ship in 3, citizen 5. Yeah, and we'll just do that. All right, and I'm feeling the absolute. I need astronomy. Which means we also need to get a harbor up. And all the things that we need. Just because I'm too lazy to scout manually in the ocean. And so there's a city-state on both sides here. So let's meet Milan. Come back over and meet whoever this other one here is. Adopt a policy, and so yeah, do we want to get into here next, or do we want to get into here next? And it's sort of a tough choice. quite honestly, as to which one we want to be in first. We don't have any allies, but we're going to be having allies here pretty soon. Once we hit about 100 gold per turn, every 10 turns we'll throw 1,000 gold at the AI. But we're going to go ahead and jump into rationalism first. And I should have bought a workboat on the last thing there. Alright, another great scientist, and we'll plant him right there. They're going to send this guy back to Antwerp as a food caravan. And we'll be happy with it that way. Sophia. Sophia's good. Alright, so nobody's even in the Renaissance yet, are they? Okay, so if nobody's even in, they're all in the medieval, so presumably they're all headed for banking. We're one turn from compass. I think we should build a cargo ship, buy a cargo ship, and really see about getting our economy going here a little bit. So you're done, so you can go back to sleep, and we're just going to plant you. You're planting. And we're going to just send you to whoever has the highest gold. There goes my timer. Actually, I'm pretty sure I saw some city-state quests here. It looks like they're already gone. Oh, well. We waited too long. Okay, so we're just going to send that into Marrakesh. And so we just met Sophia from the other side. So this guy I actually need to bring back around over there, so whatever. Okay, so that's all for this segment. And then when I come back, we'll talk about city-state quests and basically how to go about getting the allies and the other things we can do to make our city grow. So I'm going to go ahead and save the game right here. And I'll be back in the next installation.